Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Anaya if you are new here. March is going to be the second month of my monthly favorite segment so far. February was great, and if you haven't seen my video, it's going to be linked somewhere up there. But March was just as good, if not better. So without further ado, and without me rambling any more than I know I'm going to, let's get started. The first category we're gonna get into is music. The song that I definitely played the most during the month of March was Just a Cut Away by Pharrell Williams. Every time I'm feeling down, every time I hop into my car, it is immediately the first song that I would play. And honestly, the Pharrell Williams Despicable Me type beat never fails, so love it. These next three songs are in the same genre of Hawaiian, local, reggae type vibes. They are Up Up by Sandollar, Falling by Iration, and My Last Page by Kurokai. Up Up and Falling are just so dang good. And then My Last Page was a song that I listened to forever ago but I rediscovered, and it is so sad, but it is still so good. Now this next song is also not new, but if you were watching my vlogs with my amazing friend Jayla who came to visit me this past month, and if you haven't, you know what to do. We listened to All Mine by Kanye religiously. Like, it was stupid. We were listening to it every other song, and honestly we just had that bad beat energy every single time we sang that song, so shout out to Jayla. Next we have a little bit of a country vibe with Weekend by Kane Brown. This is definitely a country song, but it's more country pop than anything else, and every single time that I've listened to it, it reminds me of when I was in South Carolina with my roommate Kendall, and it really brings out the yeehaw late girl within me, so fantastic song. And lastly, would it truly be an Anaya music list if there wasn't one that just made me have an existential crisis every time I listen to it? Absolutely not. This last song is called Patience by the Lumineers. That was shown to me by one of my best friends, Ashley. She first showed it to me when we were at the beach really late one night. We were chilling there with our friend, looking up at the stars, and this song was playing, and I swear every single emotion was oozing out of my body. Bittersweet songs always have a soft spot in my heart, so I absolutely love this song, regardless of how happy or sad it may make me in the moment. The next category is fashion. So I'm no fashionista by any means, and I really wanted to get more pieces that equally stand out but can be subdued with a basic outfit as well. And after making a trip to Salvation Army, I got this beautiful polo Ralph Lauren button-up. It's literally just pink and white stripes. I love it. Living in Hawaii, it's really hard to want to up my fashion game considering that you're just in a bathing suit all the time, so I'm usually in like an oversized t-shirt. So being able to kind of up my beach game with a cute little button-up is perfect. It was also only $4. I cannot complain. Next, now anybody who really knows me knows I'm a complete and utter whore for a tote bag. Tote bags are so easy and I'm so lazy with them, so if they get a little busted up, I won't feel as bad if it was like a Gucci purse or something. Not that I can afford a Gucci purse. I don't have a Gucci purse. Anyways, weirdly enough, while I was grocery shopping, I came across this super cute black tote bag. It is this awesome sketch of Diamond Head and Waikiki back here. $15. I use it every other day. Awesome. I love it. And I also got this little Save the Ocean whale pin to go on top of it, which is perfect. I also got this cute little black and brown beige rattan bag. I think that's what this is called. It's definitely a structured bag and it's pretty covered up on the inside, so when I take it to the beach I don't really have to worry about sand flooding on the inside, which is super nice. Now lastly for fashion is something that I have owned for quite a while, but for some reason I just started wearing them. Tevas, I don't know how the heck you pronounce them, but I have two pairs that I bought 2 years ago when I first moved out here, and I never used to wear them, but they've been just so much fun to pair with cute outfits. I have it in black and I have it in brown, so they're really comfy and they'll also go with any other outfit. Next category is food. I love this category so much. First on this list is a little schnackety that me and my roommate Kendall have just been eating every single day, which is dates and nut butter. I cannot explain the science to you, but it tastes like a Snickers bar. I would not believe me either, but there's something about a date being so chewy mixed with the nut butter that tricks your brain, which is perfect because it's a healthy alternative, but it's still pretty delicious. Next, matcha. Everything. Matcha candy, matcha tea, matcha boba, matcha ice cream. My family and I love green tea, but I've never been a matcha gal, which doesn't make any sense because they're basically the same exact thing. I don't really know what happened, but it was like the month of March started and it was like, and now I can't get enough of it, which is terrible because there's so much matcha everywhere and not enough money in my bank account to supply said matcha. I need to move on though because I will talk about it all day, so matcha. Another sweet but healthy alternative that I've been turning to have been Heavenly Hunks. And let me tell you, they are godlike. They are so good. They're pretty much these gluten-free granola dark chocolate bite-sized things. I don't even know. All I know is that you put those suckers in the fridge. It's so good. Lastly, for food is going to be a place to eat, which is super exciting because I love finding new places to eat. This is another place that me and Jayla were able to discover while she was here visiting, and it is The Deck. It is expensive, but it is so dang good. Right across the street from the beach, right across the street from Diamond Head. So you get 2 amazing views on top of an amazing meal and literally the most delicious mocktails, so like fake cocktails, that I've ever had. Next, we are on to self-care. I'm still gonna make a separate video for all of my skincare, hair care, all those kind of products, but surprisingly enough, this is actually going to be a little makeup product. I was thankfully blessed with nice full eyebrows, which I thank the Lord for every single day, because if I had to draw on my eyebrows, I would be terrible at it. And with so much hair, they can get kind of crazy. And so I've been using St. Luxe brow gel to hold these suckers in place. I never used to like brow gel before because I feel like it would get crusty. And middle of the day, there would be like flakes coming down my face, which is not cute. But this product has been really awesome because it keeps them in place without all the crap and the gunk. And yeah, nice and simple. Moving quickly on, we are now on my favorite category, entertainment. All right, ladies and gents, let's talk about some film and TV. I'm gonna be totally honest, the Oscars were this past month, and I did not do a good enough job at watching more of the nominations. So sadly, none of them are really gonna be on this list because I suck. But with that being said, I did still watch some pretty interesting stuff this past month. Starting off really gross was Disney Plus's Fresh. Fresh is a horror movie starring Sebastian Stan and Daisy Edgar Jones, all about cannibalism. Oh my gosh. What made this movie so unsettling wasn't even the movie itself. It was more so the afterthought of knowing that there are sickos who really are cannibals out there, and that is just nasty. And I feel like the topic of cannibalism isn't really talked about in film. But even so, it was such an interesting take on a horror movie, and I'm all about trying something new, so I really did enjoy this film. While we're on the topic of weird horror films, I was able to watch A24's new movie X in the movie theaters. I've never really thought about horny old people being the premise of a horror film, but that is why this movie was genius. In short, X is a horror film centered around pornography, Christian guilt, and horny grandmas, all set in 1979. A24 films are a core part of who I am, but of course I didn't go into the movie thinking, this is gonna be an A24 film, so it's gonna be amazing. I figured it would be, but I needed to let the movie tell me itself. I've only recently started to really enjoy horror movies, but as weird, and when I tell you this movie was weird, like I was there with 2 of my friends I worked on Magnum PI with, and they're both right next to me. And keep in mind that it was my idea to watch this movie, and there were multiple occasions where the both of them would look at me and be like, Anaya, what the heck? You picked this? And it was an experience to say the least, but I recommend you watch it anyways. Now the next 2 are TV shows, and I love a good TV show. First is a show that I am smack dab in the middle of, and I know that I'm really late to the game, but it's Game of Thrones. I just started season 5. I'm not gonna lie, we definitely binge watched all of season 2 in one day. That is 10 hours. But honestly, I have no regrets because it is such a good show. Yes, it's gruesome, it's vulgar, it's pornographic, honestly. It's extremely intense, but the storyline is so amazing and it just hooks you in. But every person that's ever recommended this show to me has always promised me that no one really lives, regardless of how big or small their character was. And it's not that I didn't believe them, but getting attached to those characters on your own and then seeing them just die left and right freaking sucks. You cannot help but press play on the next episode, even though I know that people hate the ending. I'm excited nonetheless. Now, when I tell you this next show has consumed my very being for the past 2 weeks, Bridgerton Season 2. This season has me in a chokehold. Now, if you do not know what Bridgerton is, it is a Netflix original series based in the Regency period around the early 1800s. The show is actually based on a book series written by Julia Quinn, and each book is, of course, a romance. There are 8 Bridgerton children, and each book is based on a different one. And each season is also going to be based on a different child. The first season was based on Daphne Bridgerton. It was a fantastic season, focused on the fake dating to real dating trope. Now, season freaking 2 focuses on this fine man, Anthony Bridgerton, and this Indian goddess, Kathani Sharma. Actors Jonathan Bailey and Simone Ashley just did so dang good. Oh my gosh. I can't stop thinking about this show. I watched it the week that it came out, all in one day, all in one sitting, all in my bed. And you know what? I have no regrets. It was just as amazing as the first season, and it made me discover that I love an enemies to lovers trope. This season is romantic, it is sexy, it is a slow burn, and I absolutely adore a good Regency period piece, especially because I just want to have a Pride and Prejudice moment and be in a pretty ball gown and do the little dances and stuff where your hands almost touch and it's like, no, they can't. Because intimacy and dating and chivalry, so so different compared to now. But let me tell you, the more that I rewatch this show, the more that I think that chivalry is in fact dead. I just want somebody to call me my lady and for me to call someone your grace or my lord. I don't know, guys. It was so good. Okay, we need to move on to another category, which is books. I'm gonna say it nice and quick because I already talked about Bridgerton for way too long, but because I just could not get enough of this second season, I decided to go and read Julia Quinn's second book entitled The Viscount Who Loved Me, and was able to enjoy this romance in juicier details, and it was fantastic. I promise I'm done talking about Bridgerton now. This next book, however, shook my world. May I present to you in all of her glory, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. My roommate Kendall gave me this book to borrow, and I fell in love with it immediately. This book follows none other than Evelyn Hugo, an ambiguous actress in the 1980s who lived a scandalous and very private life that she kept under wraps pretty much for all of her life, up until one day in her older age she decides, hey random girl at this journalism firm, I want you to write my entire autobiography. And so Monique, a young writer, gets to spend a lot of time with Evelyn Hugo as she tells her entire life story. All of the juicy details about how Evelyn Hugo went from having nothing to becoming one of the world's biggest actresses. And like the title suggests, we get to learn about her 7 husbands, how her love life intertwined with her experience in the industry as an actress, and who the true love for life was. I fell in love with this book for many reasons. As an aspiring actress and someone who is also really new to reading fiction books again, I think the contents of this book were perfect for me to get immediately hooked on. And even as a fictional story, it felt really realistic. It was inspiring to see how hard Evelyn Hugo fought to be an actress and the sacrifices that she made. Homegirl definitely learned how to sleep her way up the ladder, which is not what I intend on doing. But from a young age, she decided, I'm gonna be an actress and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get there. And I admire her work ethic, regardless of those methods. And also with me recently being on set as a production assistant for Magnum PI, it was super cool to see a bunch of the terms that they use on set and in the industry that they really do use in real life also be used in the book. It made the story feel more real that way, and it also just made me excited because I was like, I know what that means! So yeah. Great book. On to one of our final categories is adventures. I was not a sports girl in high school. My ex-boyfriend was on the track team and I occasionally ran with him, so that was the extent of my exercise. Choir, theater, speech and debate, NHS, anything else, I probably did. But this past month, I was able to get outdoors a little bit more with some of my coworkers, play with the volleyball, play with the football, play with the frisbee, some spike ball, all the many good things. And it was so much fun because even though I learned that I'm not that great at volleyball, I'm actually pretty dang good at throwing a football. So that was pretty cool. And I hope that in the months to come, I can incorporate more sports into my day-to-day activities. Next, I got to try a new hike this last month, which is Dead Man's Catwalk, which I recently learned is illegal. Regardless of the legality of all of it, it was a really awesome hike, a beautiful view. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen it on Instagram or TikTok. It has a little grass field where people usually yeet themselves off and it looks like they're falling off the cliff. I'm all for discovering new places on the island, so I'm really glad that I got to do that. Thank you. Next, on to rock climbing. I had the absolute pleasure of going indoor rock climbing with 2 of my coworkers at High Climb that I finally got to go this past month, and it was so much fun. I was definitely a little bit rusty at first, and I definitely need to work on my upper arm strength, but I had such an awesome time, and it is definitely not going to be the last time that I'm gonna go there. On to our last category, we have miscellaneous. All right, I'm just gonna rip this first one off like a band-aid. I like Dungeons and Dragons, okay? And I'm not ashamed to say it. A little bit. For real though, I played Dungeons and Dragons for the first time back in high school and played for a little bit, and then me and my friends started playing again, and it's been a freaking blast. I cannot and will not lie. Oh, this is weird talking about this on the internet. I definitely won't get super into this right now, but the campaign we've been playing has been super sick, and I got new dice. Here's my bag of dice. Here's your proof. Only some of my many dice. Okay, time to move on. I have saved the best for last for this monthly favorite video. This guy right here. This was by far the best purchase I made in the entire month of March. Everybody need Ty the Thai tea. And of course, I got him from my favorite boba place, Cow Cows. Stuffed animals and plushies are an essential part of my life, and so this was a purchase that I was not ashamed of. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed it. If you guys have any recommendations for new videos, of course, drop them down in the comment section down below. And if you want to see a little bit more Anaya, make sure to follow my Instagram account at Anaya Clark with an extra K because the other one was taken. Peace and love. Bye.